Okay, so I need you to understand something before we get into this story. This is not a story about hate. This is not a story about revenge. This is a story about a person who was pushed so far for so long that they had only one choice left. And what they chose changed their entire family forever. Let's get into it. So this is posted by a 26-year-old man. We're calling him Ethan. Ethan grew up in a wealthy household. Big house, nice cars, private school. From the outside, the perfect family. His father, Robert, was a successful businessman, respected in the community, chairman of the local charity board, coach of Ethan's Little League team when he was 7, the kind of man everyone admired. But Ethan knew things about his father that nobody else knew. He had been knowing them since he was 14 years old, and carrying them alone for 12 years. When Ethan was 14, he accidentally walked into his father's home office during a late-night phone call. He heard his father say, "The offshore account is set up. Nobody will find it. Just make sure the numbers match on paper." Ethan didn't fully understand what he heard, but he remembered it. Over the next 12 years, he started understanding more. The charity his father chaired, money was disappearing from it regularly. Donations from hundreds of good people, gone. The employees at his father's company paid off the books. No benefits, no protections, working in conditions that were completely illegal. And his father's taxes hadn't been filed honestly in over 15 years. Ethan watched it all, stayed quiet, told himself it wasn't his business, until the day it became very personal. His father had been using Ethan's name and social security number, without his knowledge, to open fraudulent accounts. Ethan found out when he applied for his first mortgage and was told he had $340,000 worth of debt in his name. Debt he never created, never signed for, never knew existed. Ethan called his father immediately. Robert didn't apologize, didn't explain. He said, "You'll be fine. I'll handle it. Stop being dramatic." Stop being dramatic? Ethan hung up the phone and called a lawyer. Over the next 3 months, Ethan quietly gathered everything. Bank statements, charity records, employee testimonies, tax documents, account records with his name on them. He organized everything into a file and walked into the IRS office on a Tuesday morning. The investigation took 8 months. At the end of it, his father's business was seized, bank accounts frozen. The charity fraud alone resulted in criminal charges. 15 years of tax evasion uncovered, and the fraudulent accounts in Ethan's name added additional federal charges. Robert was convicted on multiple counts and sentenced to 6 years in federal prison. Ethan's mother called him the night of the conviction, not to comfort him, not to check on him, to tell him he had destroyed the family, that she would never forgive him, that his father was a good man. Ethan listened to everything she said, and then said 3 words. "He used me," and hung up. He spent the next year clearing his credit, paying off debts that were never his, rebuilding everything from scratch, and for the first time in 26 years, he slept without carrying someone else's secrets. Ethan posted this, asking, "Am I the asshole for reporting my own father to the IRS?" Reddit went completely silent. And then, top comment with 102,000 upvotes. The highest comment we have ever featured on this channel said, "NTA. Your father didn't just commit fraud against the government, he committed fraud against his own son." Ethan didn't report his father, he protected himself. Someone wrote, 12 years of carrying those secrets. 12 years of staying quiet out of loyalty to a man who was using his son's identity behind his back. Ethan doesn't owe anyone an apology. He owes himself a lifetime of peace. And this comment? Robert had a son who knew everything and stayed quiet for 12 years out of love. And he repaid that love by stealing his son's identity. Ethan didn't destroy the family. Robert did, the moment he opened that first fraudulent account in his son's name. I read that comment 4 times, because it's the most true thing I've ever read on Reddit. The post got 14.7 million views, the most viewed AITA post of the entire year, featured on CNN, NBC News, and the New York Times. So I have one question for you today. How long would you have stayed quiet? Because Ethan stayed quiet for 12 years, out of love, out of loyalty, out of hope that maybe things would change. And his father used every single one of those 12 years against him. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop protecting people who were never protecting you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. This one deserves every word you have. Subscribe to Thread Vault X. Hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one. And Ethan, wherever you are, you did the right thing.